Well, Pope Francis has been laid to rest in Rome after a public funeral ceremony and procession attended by hundreds of thousands of people, among them heads of state. And amid the formalities, US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky seized their chance for a quick meeting, their first since their headline-making spat back in February. The two leaders sat close together without any aides and talked for about 15 minutes inside St. Peter's Basilica, according to Mr. Zelensky's office and photos shared by Ukrainian and US officials. The White House described the talks as productive. Trump floated the idea of tougher sanctions against Moscow and questioned whether Vladimir Putin is serious about ending the war in Ukraine. Joe, I think many of us could have told him he wasn't serious about that. But I am glad to see that Trump is waking up to some of those facts.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think, look, I'm talking to a friend of mine earlier and said, look, it was always inevitable that he was going to come back. But with Trump, you never know what's inevitable or not. But I think he's clearly been frustrated and, I dare say, a little bit humiliated that, you know, he said that he can do a deal. Putin has basically thumbed his nose at him. He's told and publicly told, tweeted it. Putin says, stop bombing Ukraine. Putin's just gone ahead and done it anyway. And I think that's made Donald Trump look stupid or weak, and Donald Trump does not like looking stupid or weak. And so I think he has gone straight back to Zelensky and said, you know what, maybe you were right about this guy. Let's go get him. So I'm hugely relieved. I'm hugely happy about it. And gee, hasn't a lot changed since February?
Oh gosh, yes, it certainly has. And Evelyn, I'm interested to get your take because I feel like you have your finger on the pulse when it comes to some of the more MAGA supporters, the far-right supporters in the US. A lot of people did get behind Trump when there was that Zelensky spat in the White House. They started to frame the situation, the war in Ukraine, in a different way. How do you think those people would be reacting to some of this?
Look, I was pro-Trump, what Trump did with Zelensky in the office. I think that there are just so many wars going on at the moment, and it's going to be our sons and daughters that, unfortunately, unless this war is ended, are the ones who are going to be on the front lines. And I don't want my kids being a part of a war that I think is unnecessary to the point that it could be avoided. So I was all for Trump trying to get Zelensky to, reason and come up with ways for America to align better for their better interests with Ukraine, so that it makes it a lot more difficult for Russia to do things to Ukraine, because that's essentially a declaration of war on America. So I actually think it was very wise. To be honest, I don't think it's really swayed MAGA too much. I actually think, looking at that, the footage that came out, it looks like Zelensky is like the naughty school kid that's been hauled before the principal about and talking about his life choices.
I don't know about that. I don't think it looked quite equal.
That's my take.
It seemed quite equal to me, them sitting together there. Look, they're very similar body posture.
Maybe it's his height.
Maybe it is his height. He is quite a bit shorter.
Look, I think that, to be honest, no one wants this war. No one wants it. Ukrainians don't want it. But no one in the West wants this war, because ultimately, like I said, it's our children who will have to face up. If America
we say no one wants this war, but Putin definitely wanted the war.